Plug Power is up over 11% today after projecting revenue surge to $6 billion by 2027. So this is huge news for the company as Plug Power expects to generate $1.2 billion compared to $1.28 billion. Is holding its fifth annual Plug Symposium at its Vista manufacturing facility in New York. So this is big news for this company. Obviously, what I'll do in today's video is I'll go over the short interest, I'll go over the financials. At the end of the video, I will give you a price prediction based on technical analysis. So Plug also said it is the preferred supplier for a 550 MW electrolyzer supply contract to go to actually Australia. That was kind of interesting as well. And the company is considered a top contender to win funding from the Biden administration to be announced later this week. So really, all this news is kind of falling in Plug Power's favor here. And with that being said, though, I'll take a look at the short interest for this stock. So we can see here that there are 6.4 days to cover right now, which means that it takes 6.4 days of average volume to cover the shares that are sold short. And then we have 24% of the float sold short as well. So that's obviously, a quarter of the float sold short is definitely nothing to sneeze at. It does signal that short interest is quite high for this stock. Short interest, for the short days to cover ratio, we typically look for a days to cover ratio of over 10 to signal a short squeeze. So to be at 6.4 is pretty solid. And then that's really everything notable you need to know about the short interest here. The short borrow fee rate is pretty low at 2%. That's about average. And there is 700,000 shares available to be shorted, which has actually gone up over the past day. There's also another news event that's really helping stocks like Plug Power. So France is aiming to double output for renewables. So solar and other alternative energy shares ripped higher in Tuesday's session as the French government said it has plans to more than double its renewable power capacity by 2035, bringing unprecedented amounts of solar and wind power online to become carbon neutral by 2050. So, this push towards renewables is definitely real, and this push by France is kind of signaling that. And separately, the California Public Utilities Commission said it will delay a vote on a proposed decision that would cut incentives for schools, apartment dwellers, and farmers to install rooftop solar panels. So we'll see what happens with that. But with that being said, let's take a look at Plug Power's financials just quickly here to see how the stock stacks up. So obviously, we're not making any money right now. PE isn't positive, but we do have a price to book ratio of 1.15, which basically tells you that the market cap is roughly equal to the book value of this company, which definitely signals that this company is trading at a discount. Book value, for those that don't know, is basically just the assets that a company has on its balance sheet. And this, just for context, this 5-year average was 16 times. So to be at roughly parity with book value definitely signals that this stock is trading cheaper than it has in its history. And it's also worth noting that revenue growth is really solid for this company. So over the past 12 months, we had revenue grow at 47%. Over the next 12 months, we see revenue projected to grow at 57%. So good to kind of see revenue growth intensifying here. Definitely signals that this stock is trading, is growing its revenue very quickly. One thing I don't love to see, though, is a negative gross profit margin. So gross profit margin, for those that don't know, is just revenue minus cost of goods sold. It tells you what a company makes for what it sells. So to be at negative 25% signals that anytime that they make a sale, they're unfortunately losing money. So don't love to see that there. And it's also worth noting that they have cash per share, for about 96 cents, so about $1 in cash per share. And with that being said, let's take a look at this company's balance sheet and see if we're in a healthy spot for the upcoming years. Obviously, we're not making money right now, so we're pretty much spending money just to keep the company alive. That's why the balance sheet is very important. But we do have $1 billion in cash, and we have $970 million in debt. So overall, we have more cash than debt, which is definitely a good signal for this stock. But it's worth noting that net operating cash flow was minus $1 billion for the past 12 months. So definitely seeing a massive cash burn there. And we're going to just have to see this company either issue new debt or equity pretty soon here. But it is definitely good to see that the company has more cash than they do debt. And then with that being said, let's take a look at some of the analyst ratings for this stock. So there are 20 different bullish ratings for Plug Power, and there are 0 bearish ratings. So that kind of tells you that Wall Street is more bullish than they are bearish, which is definitely a good signal for this stock, and definitely signals that the general consensus throughout the marketplace, throughout Wall Street, is that this stock is a buy. And we just saw Citi buy rating yesterday, but they lowered their price target to $12.50. And then we saw JP Morgan maintain their overweight rating, but they lowered their price target to $12. And that was just over the past week or so. So, two recent notes from very notable firms, Citigroup and JP Morgan, increasing their bullishness on the stock, which definitely gives me confidence. And then with that being said, let's take a look at the chart here. So we have kind of rebounded off of oversold levels, which is definitely good to see for the stock. Just bursted through resistance at about $7.20 today, just in reaction to this news. So that's definitely good to see there. And now we're coming up to test this 50-day moving average at around $8.50. I believe we could see some consolidation around this $8.50 level, just because this is where the 50-day moving average sits, and we do have bearish momentum. So we saw the 50-day moving average cross below the 100-day moving average in late September, which is a signal of bearish momentum. So could see somewhat of a pullback from this 50-day moving average. I wouldn't be shocked if we got that. But to be frank, this is more of a story stock, right? So the upside potential is definitely there for this stock. It's just currently we're kind of fighting the DMAs. So we may see a pullback from this 50-day moving average back down to support at around $7.30, $7.20, that kind of range. So I think we get a short-term pullback down to 720, 730 over the coming weeks. Not saying I'm bearish on the stock long term, not making any calls on that. Just simply saying that based on the pure chart, it looks likely that we'll see somewhat of a pullback over the coming days to weeks. So with that being said, ton of new news here. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll let you go here.
Looking to learn more about the financial markets? Well, I just released a new course that will teach you everything you need to know about the stock market. You can find that at happyinvestingtoday.com. Also on the site, you can purchase one-on-one coaching sessions where I will break down your portfolio, and to better assist traders when searching for setups, I'm selling trading bots, which will tell you how your trading strategy has performed historically on a stock, crypto, or currency that you are researching. If you would also like to see what me and my experienced trading team are doing on a day-to-day basis, join our Discord, which is linked below, for a free 7-day trial. With that being said, please leave a like and subscribe. Appreciate you watching this video.